Welcome back everyone to the Working Class Revolt, and today I want to talk about and show you a couple of clips from the big press conference held today by Nigel Farage and the Reform UK party. Now today was all about Farage declaring that Reform UK are now the party of the working class. This is a title held by the Labour Party for the last 100 years, but I'm sure you will agree with me, if you're a working person, that, let's be honest, we've nothing in common with the Labour Party this day and age. Maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, the Labour Party was very different, but it sure in hell is not a party for the working class anymore. Now, Nigel Farage went on to declare this in the first clip I'm going to show you, but just before I show you that, just to let you know that Farage once again reiterated his policy that he would end the cap on having 2 children and getting benefits, or I should say not getting benefits, if you have a 3rd child. Now, previously, any benefits that you got, you would get a set amount for every child you had. That was then ended under the Conservative Party. But Farage is saying that with a birth rate so low at the moment, he needs to give help to young families to give them the confidence to have more children. Now, this is a policy that goes deep into the heart of the Labour Party. This is something that Labour supporters was promised by Keir Starmer if he got into power, and he's not yet delivered on it. He said there wasn't enough money, and he basically kicked it into touch. But now Nigel Farage is getting more popular and talking about it more. There's rumours around that Keir Starmer is going to do a U-turn. Another policy that Farage mentioned was the winter fuel payment, something that all parties are saying is coming up on the doorstep all the time. So like I said, this conference was about declaring they are now the party of the working people, the working class, but also an attack on Labour, to say Labour were coming for your voters. Take a look at this first clip.
Now the party of working people. One of the arguments I made in the run-up to May the 1st was that many of our voters are people with alarms that go off at 5 o'clock in the morning. They go off to work. They work damned hard, whether they're working for companies, whether they're trade union members, whether they run their own businesses or act as sole traders. They're the people that are voting for us. And the great divide that is opening up in British society is between those that get up and go to work, pay an ever-increasing tax burden, feel ever more hampered by government at every level, and their next-door neighbours who choose to do nothing, but actually have a very similar standard of living. That is becoming increasingly a massive problem in this country.
But we've seen Nigel Farage declare that Reform UK are the party for the working men and women of this country, that the Labour Party are no longer. Now, as a working man myself, I couldn't agree more. The Labour Party do not relate to me whatsoever, and I'm sure you feel exactly the same. Reform UK stand for the values and the policies that most people believe in, like no open door immigration, stop illegal immigration, put UK residents first, have smaller taxes. These are all policies that the working man wants. Look at the climate change policy. Let's not spend £60 billion a year on climate change that may or may not be caused by man. Another point on the climate change, if we're only producing less than 1% of carbon emissions, even if we stopped it all, nothing would happen to the world. Take a look at the next clip. This is Nigel Farage responding to a challenge that the Prime Minister Keir Starmer has put to him. So Keir Starmer has challenged Nigel Farage to a debate, but he's not put a time on it. All he said is it will be sometime before 2029. Now, I'm sure you agree, Keir Starmer is not the best debater, and Nigel Farage is a very, very good debater. So I don't believe the Prime Minister for one moment. But Nigel Farage decided to accept the challenge and have a look what he says about it.
Thinks his leadership, frankly, is pointless. Now, he has challenged me to a head-to-head debate sometime between now and the next general election. The last time this happened to me, it was Nick Clegg when he was Deputy Prime Minister. So, I mean, I'm very, very happy, Prime Minister, to accept this invitation, but I don't really want to wait for 4 more years. You and your deputy and others are saying, no, it's Labour that are the party of working people, not Reform. Well, why don't we test it out? I've got a great idea. Why doesn't the Prime Minister and I go to a working man's club somewhere in the Red Wall, and we'll sit there and we'll let them ask us questions, and you can all come along and cover it live. So that's my open invitation to the Prime Minister. Let's go to one of the former mining communities. Let's go somewhere that Labour have held the seat pretty much consistently since 1918. Let's, whether the Prime Minister will enjoy a few beers with the lads and do the Channel 4 racing that afternoon, I'm not sure, but I'm very, very happy to do so. We built this party around 3 key principles.
So this is the big problem when your mouth starts talking and you say things that you can't back up. So Keir Starmer has now been called out by Nigel Farage, but not only has he called him out, he said let's have a debate in the Red Wall, historically Labour territory, and let's have it at a working man's club. Working men's clubs were set up by the Labour Party membership through the old trade unions. They'd be members of the Labour Party, they'd pay the money, and they would meet and drink, decide candidates in these type of clubs. But Nigel Farage is that confident that the Prime Minister and the Labour Party are that unpopular in these areas and Reform are on the rise, he's challenged him to have a debate. It would be a first of its kind, not read by the BBC or Sky News in a big studio with a narrator and somebody reffing it who's absolutely biased, just 2 men having a debate in front of the public. Let me know in the comment section, do you believe that Reform UK are now the party of the working man and woman, and do you think Keir Starmer will back up his words and debate Nigel Farage? Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Hello everybody, and thank you so much for supporting the Working Class Revolt. We've got some new merch that we're selling on our website. We're doing comedy political mugs. We've got one here, which is the iconic moment after Donald Trump got shot, with his hand in the air saying fight, fight, fight. We've got ones like this saying I'm voting Reform UK, and we've got ones like this saying Nigel Farage 4 PM, and we've got many, many more on our website. So please check them out. They're all £9.99 and they'll all be with you within a few working days. The website is www.workingclassrevolt.co.uk, and the link for the website is in the description of every video. It's a good way for you to support this channel but also get something back at the same time. And once again, thank you so much for supporting my channel.